Hello, Capricorn. Thanks for coming in for February's reading. I've cleared the space. I've laid down your spread. Let's jump right in. We're going to start with the current energy, which is the world and the Five of Swords. Something has come full circle. We're coming to the conclusion of something. It could be a cycle in your life. It could be some sort of planetary shift that brings a conclusion. I know that we have a slew of things happening planetarily. I'm not an astrologer, but I do know that we're coming to the end of several closing up of one cycle and the beginning of another one. But what this is causing for you, Capricorn, is this moment of Five of Swords energy. And what that is you are determined with ideas or inspirations to have your way at whatever cost it means. That means that other people might not be so happy about it, but this conclusion of one era in your life, Capricorn, is inspiring you to move forward, taking the risks. And what's challenging this is the Seven of Pentacles in reverse and the Lovers in reverse. You're finding probably that some relationships in your life have not grown fruit. They are not bearing good fruit. And there is just nothing more to invest in those. And that can be challenging when we come to grips with relationships in our lives that just don't have any further use or value. And this can be very upsetting because there could have been a long period of time that you've invested in this. What your higher self wants you to know with the Chariot upright and the Eight of Swords in reverse is that you are victoriously moving forward. Your higher self wants you so much to know that you are stepping past that feeling of self-victimization and you're standing in this energy of power. You're able, when you move forward, it will be a victorious moving, the movement that you're making. When we see the Chariot in this deck, it has the Sphinx. Two Sphinxes, which are mystical creatures. And they aren't really having movement. It's because I feel like you are settling in to what it means to be victorious. I think you're reestablishing your ideas around self-worth. When I say that, it's because when I look in the past, I see this King of Wands and this Temperance in reverse. There could have been a relationship in your life with someone who took action from a place of authority without regard to the feelings of the people around them. Now, I don't know that that's your energy, but it certainly feels like somebody else's. It's a heavy masculine presence, and it's not necessarily negative, but I do feel like it created some areas within you, Capricorn, that made you feel victimized, not seen or heard, and it implanted thoughts inside of you that made you question yourself and your self-worth. And you are moving forward from that. I wouldn't say nobody is completely healed, but you are definitely in a space where you've been able to heal the truth, between the truth and what other people's pain created inside of you. I hope that makes sense. What's being hidden is the Queen of Wands and the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. You've been doing some very intentional work for yourself. Now, it might not be apparent to everybody else, but with this Queen of Wands energy, this is very therapeutic. This is like getting information about your mental health. This is receiving information on healing so that you can move forward in a healthier space. And it's not by fate. It's not dictated by destiny. It's something that you've done very intentionally. What I see in this future spread for the outcome is beautiful. The world shows up again, coming to some sort of closing up of one cycle and the beginning of another. And when we see her, She is enveloped by this wreath. And it's almost like a womb where she's kept safe in the safety of this cycle. Um, she's holding two batons, which means she has the power. This is a very empowering fixed energy, um, where you are determined to not let anything sway you or get in your way. We also have the Nine of Pentacles, where you are reaping the rewards of all the work that you've done, Capricorn. You are sitting in the grace, in the satisfaction of all the work that you've completed, that you've done for yourself in the manner of time, energy, and resources. And with the Nine of Swords in reverse, the anxiety is lifted that you've been carrying throughout this time. Now, on the bottom of each one of these decks, we see the Six of Swords in reverse and the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups is walking away from things that no longer served you, things that you may have held on to a lot of emotional attachment to. This is removing yourself from emotional attachments. This is a monumental shift that you're not maybe telling everybody about. I can see some resentment in some of these relationships that you have, that you've been able to move forward. You don't have the same attachments to things that you used to. It's easier for you to separate your emotions that may have been clouded by conditioning that you received from the past, and to see the reality of your situation. And it's almost as though other people benefited from you not seeing the reality of the situation. I did pull a card of advice. Wondrous universe. Walk in beauty. We have a wizard here who is standing in the universe, using all his, just embellishing himself. You live in a beautiful and wondrous universe. You are a beautiful being. Take time to see and cherish the wonders of life wherever you go. It transforms your life. There is a remarkable beauty within you. Simply acknowledging it allows it to surface even more. The time you take to create beauty in your home will manifest in your life. In Native traditions, walking in beauty means to honor all the natural cycles of life and to experience a sacred communion with the Creator in all things, including oneself. There is always beauty around you and within you. The sacred traveler constantly looks for and embraces the majestic, wondrous universe in all forms. You can hear it in the song of an early morning bird. You can smell it in the aroma of freshly baking bread. And you can see it in the way clouds float across the sky. The more you seek beauty, the more it'll find you. And the more you'll find yourself in a beautiful world. It's almost as though that you have... I have a friend who's a Capricorn who sent me a book, and it was the Eckhart Tolle, in a new world. In any stretch, I keep that book by my bed, and that Capricorn friend sent that to me because she knew innately that it was going to change and transform my life, to separate my ego from my spirit, to understand the difference between those two things, to see how I was being reactive in the world, to see how the conditioning had changed my way of making decisions. And I think I'm talking to a Capricorn that's experiencing a lot of this. Being able to differentiate the things that there's a huge spiritual growth occurring in February for this Capricorn. And you're deciding how you define yourself in the world and how you've allowed other people to manipulate you by the definitions you held so tightly to in the past. This is a huge transformative period. This has been probably one of the most powerful readings I've done for February. And I'm glad to have brought it to you, because this is definitely a shift, not maybe in the 3D, but definitely in the 5D for you, Capricorn. And I'm glad to have delivered it. Thank you.